Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today with another 14 trades I did today. And today's date is November the 24th. And I'm using my new Trigger Zones trading system. I also call it my Holy Grail trading system. And the reason why I would call it the Holy Grail trading system is any system that can produce well over 200 pips or more a day. Well, what would you call it? And just looking at the grand totals down here, this looks like to me well over 400 pips. That is why I call it the Holy Grail trading system. And of course, this goal line right here, I would label that the magic indicator. It's trigger zones. I nickname it TZ for short. Trigger zones. It really helps me to find the beginning of the up and down cycles within the market. You can easily trade all 3 trading sessions 24 hours a day. Now I call that the flow of the market. And once you learn that secret, of course, along with money management and trade management, you will be well on your way to becoming a full-time successful trader. So let's move onto these trades. Keep in mind, before I pull the trigger, first thing I'm doing about 6 o'clock in the morning, I am drilling down the lights all the way from the monthly all the way down. I make a decision whether I should be buying or selling. Then I'll put the arrow in there. By the way, these are all the things that you have to do. And if you don't know how to do that or make a trading plan like this one right here, and by the way, this was the daily trade plan I did for today, November the 24th. All of these trades were taken directly from my daily trade plan. Now, some of them I had to wait a little bit, like where it says waiting for the 4 hours. It's usually the 4 hours, and sometimes it's the daily. I'm waiting for it to line up and to give me a proper buy or sell signal. Now, all of these trades, as I said, were coming from this daily trade plan. And if you don't know how to make one of these, you will always struggle until you learn how to make one of these. In between now and at that point, I highly recommend not only do you get my trigger zone system, but also get your hands on my daily trade plan for 1 or more months. Now for me, I had to buy it from my mentor for roughly about a year, and until I could actually figure out how to make my own daily trade plan. So if you want to become successful at trading, you have to be able to produce one of these daily trade plans. So moving right along, pound CAD. Let's see, after I drilled down the lights, I knew I wanted to be selling. Let's see where I got in at. Just wait, follow the goal line here, follow the gold, and at the end of the gold, you're going to get some gold. So that's your sell signal here and here. Took the trade at this point. Now it did go against me approximately 17 pips, and I closed it out. And remember, when I close out the trades, I'm generally just happy. And once I get the, once I get the 200 pips, that's my happy point. But to be honest with you, even 100 pips, I'm good with that. So I ended up with, looks like 7 pips. And 7 pips on the pound CAD paid $629. So moving right along to the pound dollar. Another one I knew, higher time frames, was saying to sell. So just wait for the proper entry. And of course, sometimes I jumped the gun a little bit on the quicker side, but I knew it was going to go down. If you knew when you pulled the trigger 95% of the time, like in other words, 95% of your trades was going to become a winner, wouldn't you be much happier? Well, that's why you have to do what I'm doing. Did go against me 20 pips. I wasn't too worried about it, especially by the time I saw this hammer. I knew I was going to be making pips. And on this situation, looks like I got 10 pips. And a pound dollar pays actually $10 a pip. So those 10 pips obviously paid, as you can see down at the bottom, $1,000. Moving on to silver. This one did not move a lot like it did yesterday, but hey, you never know when it's going to move. And I decided I really like it. It pays the most, by the way. If you freak out doing the pound pairs like the pound dollar, which only pays $10 a pip, well, silver pays $50 a pip. So be very, very careful with silver. Let's see. Now, I knew I wanted to be selling, and I had to wait patiently for the trade to come in my favor. I took this trade at 5 to 7 in the morning. By the way, I took all the trades relatively early, from before 7 to around 8 a.m., as you can see, and I closed them all out after 8, some of them a little bit after 9. While most people are just starting their jobs around 9 o'clock in the morning, I am usually finished right around 9 in the morning, sometime between 9 and 10. And then I have the rest of the day to goof off. Anyhow, I should have closed it out when I was bouncing around here, but when you're monitoring this number of trades, sometimes by the time you get to it, it went from a winner to a loser, back to a winner. But the higher time frame did say to sell, and I knew I was going to lock in those pips. And as you can clearly see here, you may say that's not very much. It's only 2 pips. But remember, 2 pips, when you're getting $50 a pip times 10 lots, $1,000, still pretty good payout. This one here I'll have to pay closer attention starting either tonight or tomorrow morning, because look at that, at one point I was up about 10 pips, and 10 pips would have paid 5 times this, 5 times more. And as you can see in the top left corner here, the ADR is only 61 pips, and today only went 30 pips. And there's your ADR, high and low. By the way, whoever picks up this system, everything you see on the MT4 platform. And keep in mind that Trigger Zones works on the MT4 platform, not the MT5. Still get traders asking me, does it work on MT5? The answer is no. MT4, and it is the world's most popular platform. 85% of traders around the world are using MT4. So don't let anybody try to trick you or confuse you. They've been saying for 15 years now, MT4 might be coming to an end to make room for MT5. But with 85% of the traders in the world using it, you can rest assured that the brokers will, they'll never allow things like that to happen. I'm pretty sure of that, because 85% of the traders will immediately become struggling at trading while they're trying to learn the MT5. And they got to take all their systems and transfer it and get it programmed for MT5. So I gave up worrying about that about 10 years ago. I love the MT4. It works fantastic. Next trade, Euro CAD. Got a little more to the left. There it is right here. Euro CAD. I knew I wanted to be selling it. There's the arrow. Drag and drop this up. That's where I got in. I got tired of waiting for, the full-blown signal, which is on this candle. I knew it was going to go down. There's my stop. It wasn't that big of a stop. 15 pips. Close it out being just happy with 13. And looks like 13 pips on the EuroCAD paid $1,023. And by the way, I highly recommend you do a lot more than one trade. Many, many years ago, I would just put in one trade, sitting around for hours. It would obviously turn into either a winner or a loser, and more often than not, it would turn into a bigger loser than what I desired. And the thing is, you've got to get in a habit of doing more than one trade. That's why I give you more than 20 high quality signals within the daily trade plan. Now keep in mind that not every signal will work out, as if it's screaming to buy and it's right up against resistance, well, guess what's going to happen? Especially from the higher time frames, it could easily do 50 to 100 pips in the opposite direction. At which point, if it's not going to go any higher and you get a sell signal, well, just sell it. What's wrong with grabbing an extra 40 to 50 pips? So anyhow, you'll learn that after a few weeks with the daily trade plan. Let me see. Let's try the next one. Gold, which happens to pay $10 a pip. Gold, there. I love it when charts look like this. It did qualify for a great way to trade. Everything screaming to sell. So that's exactly what I did. Sold it. And I closed it out. Let's see. That looks like only, let's see what this is first of all. 3 pips against me. Went only 11 pips. 11 pips. We're very close to 11. That would be about right. So let's go with 11 on gold. $1,060. It was actually 10.6 pips. So what am I going to do? Let's see. Let's go with 11. Very close to 11 anyhow. Moving right along to the euro dollar. Don't trade this that often, but today on the daily trade plan, it did have a lot of red here, so how could I ignore it? Down, all of them. Preferred bearish trade. So, but keep in mind, just because everything is unbelievable, saying to sell and everything, look at that in the blue box here. It's only 34 pips. Another reason why, I traded it, because I know a lot of traders like to see and trade. It's a very slow moving pip, pair to trade. Doesn't move a real lot. But let's just see what I did get. Didn't go much against me either, about 4 or 5 pips. Closing it out with 11 pips. And those 11 pips, which paid $10 a pip on the euro dollar, that's why I ended up with $1,100. Looks like this is going to be a longer than usual video. Try to speed it up a bit. 30-year bonds, which is pays $5 a pip. I knew I wanted to be selling. There's the arrow. Let's see where I got in at. This right here, stop wasn't that big actually. 14 pips. Closing it out with about 21 pips. Remember, $5 a pip. That's why it ended up paying another one, $1,100. Euro CAD. Let's go and take a look at that one. Here we go. Euro CAD. I knew I wanted to. By the way, I took this trade twice because it looked well, no particular reason other than I knew I was gonna get some more pips. Let's clean up the charts first of all. Clean up the charts is quite easy. Trigger zones. Here we go. Let's see where I got in on this trade. Right in here, right on the goal line. I teach that within the training videos. Went against me, looks like 7 pips about. Closing it out with about 15 pips. And on this EuroCAD trade, those 15 pips paid $1,259. Moving right along, pound Aussie. Here's another one. Let's see, wanted to be buying. Price action is above the goal line. Everything's screaming to buy, so that's what I did. I bought it. Should have got out up here, but decided to do another cycle. Anyhow, not a big deal. I was 95% sure. Had a winner. Got in here. Looks like it went maybe 1 pip against me, not too much. Closed it out, looks like with about 22 pips. And 22 pips on the pound Aussie paid $1,655. Euro New Zealand. This one I wanted to be buying. Everything screaming, including higher time frames. Did qualify for a great way to trade. Let's see where I got in at. Didn't go much against me either, just the way I love to trade. Went 6 pips against me, and I closed it out just being happy with about, let's see, let's go with 36 pips. Close enough, 36 pips on the Euro New Zealand paid $2,547. Moving on to Russell. This one pays $10. Let's bring the data in, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. There's the blue box filled in. Did qualify for a great way to trade as I teach within the training videos. Higher time frame said to sell. That's exactly what I did. Did go against me about, well, 32 pips or thereabouts. And let me see, Russell, 48 pips. $10 a pip, it's got to be 47. Yeah, because, yep, Russell, 47 pips, and that paid $4,700. For many years, I looked at futures, I looked at other instruments, and I struggle with it because of the high volatility and movement and whatnot. It was much more movement than the pound pairs, so you've got to master the pound pairs, and then eventually you got to do these futures. Moving on to the S&P 500. This one pays $5 a pip. Did qualify for a great way to trade. The higher time frame said to sell. Did go against me a little bit. 49. Keep in mind that 10 or 20 pips will not hold. So it's roughly 50 pips against me. Not a big deal. I ended up with 104 pips, and it's still going down. That's 10 points, by the way, or 104 pips. And those 104 pips on the S&P paid $5,250. DAX 30. This one here, careful with this one, pays $37.50 a pip. I knew I wanted to be selling. There's my arrow. Drag and drop this up. Doesn't have to move very much. Look at this little tiny move. If I would have stayed in a little bit longer, I would have made about, well, maybe about $15,000. But anyhow, not a big deal. I was still happy. Nothing wrong with being happy with DAX 30. That's 150 approximately 150, close enough. DAX 30, remember that's 3750. Went down to the 5 minutes so I can get a more accurate reading on this. It's about 146, that would be a little bit more accurate. Let's go with 146 pips. And the DAX 30, that paid $5,437. Okay, moving on to the Nasdaq, pays $10 a pip. There's the arrow. I knew I wanted to be selling, so that's exactly what I did. Remember, this is $10 a pip. Let's see where I did go against me, about 30. And I could have got a lot more. Look at that. 132. And looks like I locked in about, that would be about right, 51 pips. 51 times 2 times 10. So 51 pips on the Nasdaq paid $10,260. So another great day of trading. I just calculated all the pips and ticks. Ended up well over what I thought it was. I said earlier around 400. It's actually 496 pips and ticks. Those 496 pips paid out $38,023. So if your system is not producing on a daily basis like my trigger zone system, I suggest you get your hands on it. And don't forget to get your hands on the daily trade plan. Let's see, to get more information, all you got to do is look right below this video. It's my trigger zone system. For this system, I charge $250. Keep in mind the daily trade plan is $100 a month. And all you got to do is, if you would have done one of these trades, you would have made your $100. As you can see, every one of them paid way over $100. Now I teach how to trade the flow of the market. If you don't learn that, you'll never succeed at trading. Now my system has 5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Included are 6 MT4 templates, 8 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. I threw in a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and 9 bonus videos. This stuff right here is just bonus stuff. Lots of good education material that should improve your trading. Now there's a lot of ways to trade, and I do teach a lot of ways to trade. That's why there's 50 training videos. My number one way, and that's what I look for every day, it's called a great way to trade. Anyhow, we're really running late. Just put this video on pause, read everything here. And if you have any questions, simple, just pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. If you live too far, easy again, just send me an email. Remember, there's an underscore right here. Now, I do prefer Skype, simple. All you got to do is just click on this link. We'll have Skype connection. And through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session. I'll answer your questions and give you some tips and tricks. If nothing else, you will learn something new, and keep in mind there's no obligation to you. Now if you click on this link right here, you'll see 35 screenshots of all the trigger systems I've been building over the years. So time to wrap up this video, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trading day and video, happy trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.